app is a real-time scheduler designed for mobile use and built for small business. As a former small business owner, I found a lot of the off-the-shelf technology solutions were difficult to learn quickly and really expensive to license. So our team also has experience working with larger enterprise level management, employee management systems. These types of apps is everything but the kitchen sink kind of thing, every feature you could imagine at the cost of a really complex user interface, and often a frustrating experience for the day-to-day user who only has to interact with a small piece of the app. This is especially true for small businesses. They have high turnover and they really need help with the kind of daily tasks of onboarding, scheduling, and managing their employees. So we decided to build a mobile-first scheduler for a manager of about 50 employees or less to quickly get this HR busy work off their hands. So in designing this solution for the manager, naturally we thought about our employees. How would they navigate the main functions and features without too much training? And personifying the app as a manager was very helpful. We wanted the employees especially to be able to explore the information freely, to learn without fear, so we had handy alert messages built in and a home button on every view. And in general, we tried to put the most used and useful information first so they could act on it quickly with a minimum of clicks. And this ability to guide the user, especially the employee, through some of these administrative functions and lessen that administrative load on the manager is really what we were thinking of in designing the app. And to talk about one of our key features, Greg is going to talk about his shift assignment algorithm.
Thank you so much, Michael. So for a small business, assigning shifts to employees can be complicated and it can be really time consuming. As a team, we decided that we were going to put some smart tools into our software that would help to solve that problem. When our manager wants to assign shifts to employees, they can start that process with one click. That click will send emails to the employees using SendGrid. Those emails will link to our React front end where the employees are able to submit their responses. Those responses are logged and processed by our Ruby on Rails API. And when the manager wants to complete the process, they're able to do that once again with just a single click. That click will begin our custom algorithm for assigning shifts to employees. That algorithm, in computer science terms, is something called the nurse scheduling problem, and its complexity is NP hard. So for us, we found one solution quickly by prioritizing the shifts that were hard to fill, as well as a fair distribution of shift hours. This takes the process which used to be a manual pen and paper process and turns it automatic, moving from hours or days to minutes. Sohel Patel is our backend developer who will tell you about another smart tool.
Thank you, Greg. So before I came to Momentum, I was a small business owner, and one of my primary responsibilities was employee scheduling. As a result of that experience, a feature I felt was really important for us to have was a copy and paste function, which allowed a manager to basically duplicate a schedule from week to week. Managers do that just has to scroll to the bottom of their calendar, click the copy to button, and it will copy a schedule from 1 week to the next. When we click on Sunday, October 14th, we will see that Greg and Alex are assigned to a 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. shift, and I'm assigned to a 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. shift. And when we navigate back and go to next week's schedule on Sunday, October 21st, you'll see that all the employees have been assigned to the exact same shifts. We feel this function is very important because if a manager really likes his schedule, he can just copy it over instead of having to create a brand new schedule from scratch every week. And I would like to turn it over to Alex to discuss additional features of ShiftGear.
Thank you, Sohel. We understand that our primary user for ShiftGear is going to be the manager of your small business. We believe that it can be very frustrating and stressful for a manager when an employee that's scheduled to work a shift is no longer able to work that shift. And it can be very time consuming for that manager to find someone to fill that shift. So we created a feature that we're calling Shift Swap. Shift Swap allows employees to trade shifts with one another without any input from the manager until all the details of that trade have been worked out. Here on the left, you can see that I've signed in. I'm scheduled to work October 17th, but I'm not available. So I click the Request Swap button, And on the right, Sohel is signed in, and he sees that someone needs a shift swap for October 17th. He's available, so he clicks that button. When he does, two things happen. That button is disabled for all other users, and an email is sent to Greg, the manager, letting him know that a shift swap needs his approval. Greg does provide the approval, and when he does, I receive an email letting me know that my shift swap has been approved. When I log back into the system, you'll see that I no longer have to work on October 17th, which is great. We designed this app in a way that allows the user to get in and get out very quickly, because we recognize that talking about and thinking about work is not the most fun thing to do. So we utilize a system of temporary tokens when a user receives an email that allows them to interact with the app without having to sign into the app. And hopefully that saves them a little bit of time. We feel strongly that ShiftGear is a tool that managers of small to medium-sized businesses can use to save them a lot of time. It allows them to schedule their employees quickly, onboard their employees quickly, and allows their employees to trade shifts with one another very quickly. We feel that all these things allow the manager to focus on the business instead of on the HR busy work. We invite you to explore ShiftGear at shiftgear.me, and we appreciate your time. Thank you.